Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Plymouth Regional High School as we get set for the semifinals here in the Division II Championships in New Hampshire. Alongside Mike Courier, I'm Dan Salzer. So glad you could join us and coach a rematch, another playoff matchup between these two schools. They met earlier in the season down at Souhegan in the pouring rain. Souhegan controlled that game from start to finish.
Yeah, they did. Plymouth early in the season had a lot of things to work out. They fumbled the ball a number of times during that game. They did not, sometimes they weren't blocking the right person. Things like that just, really hurt them. They shot themselves in the foot several times. At one point it was, well into the first quarter, it was 14-6. And the Plymouth defense was able to maintain them. But this wide open offense that Souhegan runs, the quarterback's a good all-around athlete. If you don't have to worry about him throwing the ball, you got to worry about him running the ball. And that's what they went to a number of times where people were covered, but the middle was wide open. There was nobody, linebackers were trying to get in. He'd scoot up the middle for 10, 12, 15 yards. So this is a pretty good offensive team by Souhegan, and there's always that rivalry and that desire to come up to Plymouth and knock Plymouth off. For decades, Souhegan and Plymouth have had this rivalry going on, and back in the 80s, 90s, Plymouth usually came out on top, but things have changed. Souhegan is a bigger school now, and more athletes to select from. But Plymouth's just got to play errorless ball, and we always say, the person that makes the least mistakes is going to win the game.
We look at Plymouth since that game, a really strong suit. We've seen Robbie Thorne really come back into his own after kind of a quote-unquote sloppy mid-part of the season. But there have been some injuries over the course of the last couple of weeks that might hamper Plymouth, but you've got to look at the likes of Gabe Keane, who's been fantastic. You've got to expect maybe Jackson Rainier to kind of get going here today because they're going to need some receiving downfield.
Well, and I think they've got to stay away from the deep long pass that they seem to throw a lot, and look at something where they can get the ball, say in Rainier's hands in the flat, or Keene's hand in the flat, or something over the middle, more short, because they have a good line as well, offensive, defensive line, and Plymouth's going to have their hands full, where Plymouth's line has really been dominant this year. They're going to have guys that are as big and as skilled, and it'll be mano-y-mano in the trenches.
Rightfully so. And we talk about the rushing game for Plymouth. Three guys really leading the way. Three guys 500 yards plus on the season. Robbie Thorne with 620. Gabe Keane, 681. Ben Valenti also in the trenches at 521. And between them, we're looking at, it's 19 touchdowns between the three of them this year in rushing. So how can those three work off each other? Gabe Keene's the exception. He's kind of that second down speed sweep kind of guy, but you got Valenti and Thorne that are really similar, that north-south kind of trench guy. How can they all distinguish themselves and really open up this offense for Plymouth?
Well, they're going to have to use ball control if they can, because the less time Souhegan's got their hands on the ball, less of a chance they're going to score. So, Plymouth needs to, I think, stay with if they can sustain the ground game. I think you're going to see Chris do that. And again, if you can chew up the clock, take time off the board, and put some points up, it's going to be. They've got a good chance. But then again, Souhegan can score the drop of a hat with a long pass. They've got good
afternoon and
good
welcome to George
backs.
Zulius Field for today's NHIAA division.
They can hit the home run at any time.
You talk about Souhegan and the Sabres, and two standout players that we've always talked about, the whole state knows about. Rami James, quarterback, and also J.J. Bright up there for Player of the Year as a running back. Two dynamic, athletic players that can really break games open, and we've seen them do that here over the course of this season. Their quarterfinal game last week against Bow where they ran over Bow. Rami Jane was 5 for 9. 118 yards, 1 touchdown, but J.J. Bright, 154 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's really what head of the dragon do you try to stop?
Well, they have two heads.
Yeah.
And you might get one, but then the other one's going to come back and bite you. They've got a pretty good football team. I've been impressed with what I've seen on film. and seem pretty confident group of guys. Plymouth's got to control the ball and not make mistakes, and if they do that, they got a chance. And if Souhegan turns the ball over at all, then that also is in Plymouth's favor. But we'll see. I mean, it's really what happens out there and who's making the fewest mistakes. It's going to probably win the game.
So looking at Plymouth, we saw some turnovers recently. How do they kind of focus and try to get out ahead early? Is it just limiting the turnovers, or do you try to go with something a little different versus a very tough defensive team?
Well, I think you're going to see Chris try to check the running game first and foremost, because it's been his bread and butter all season. So if they're able to shut that down, then you got to throw the football. And the short to medium passes are higher percentage completions and less chance for the pick. The long stuff is just tough because they've got speed in their defensive backfield as well. So I think you've got to kind of, you look at the old Patriots when they were winning, and they would dump the ball out in the flat, let the speedster get one-on-one with somebody. And I mean, if Keene is back full today, he's the kind of kid that, boy, you want to get him one-on-one with somebody. And he's the one kid at Plymouth that's got the speed that can kill. So we'll see what he's up to today. I think he's probably ready to go. Last week he didn't see any action, I don't think.
Yeah, I think first quarter, but then got injured, and we didn't see him the rest of the game. So we'll see. Trying to find him on the sideline here from our vantage point.
Well, the kids will understand that this is it. There is no tomorrow if they lose, and they got nothing to lose other than their effort. And if they can get to the championship game, then we got a whole nother story, but also another very, very good team, whether it be St. Thomas or
the officials for
Pelham.
Today's game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment, of how both teams, or all four teams, reached semifinals last weekend. But we're going to get ready for the coin toss and the captain's meeting at midfield. Souhegan in their road white uniforms. They'll be calling the coin here. Absolute beautiful. Finally, real late November feel to things with temperature-wise here in the 30s compared to what we've had really all season long. We've been blessed with weather. But a gorgeous day for football. So looks like Souhegan has won the toss.
They're going to defer, which is fine with Plymouth. Souhegan will have the ball in the second half to start that off. But Plymouth generally likes, to take that ball right off the bat and see what they can do. The one thing I've noticed looking out here at the trees is that there's not as much wind as there has been.
The toss
compared to just this morning downtown.
That would have been a huge factor in throwing the football.
And with that, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer as we get the national anthem before we get kickoff here this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise on this Veterans Day. We would like to thank all the members of our armed forces currently serving and those that have served. Please join us in honoring them and America in the playing of our national anthem, performed by the PRHS Pep Band under the direction of Mr. William Gunn.
Great job by Will Gunn and the pep band here at Plymouth Regional High School, as always, with the national anthem. And again, we wouldn't be remiss if we wanted to thank all the veterans, current and former, who have served to protect our freedoms here in this 11th day of the 11th month. We thank you for everything that you do to protect our freedoms. And Coach, we're going to look at the bracket so far. As we're getting ready to go, you see Pelham dominating Kennett 49-8 in their game. St. Thomas, we talked about them last weekend, 21-7 over Sanborn in their Friday night game. Souhegan destroying Bow 54-6. And Plymouth over John Stark here at home last week, 28-8. And that sets up, you see, the Final Four here this weekend, with the other game, Pelham hosting St. Thomas Aquinas, kicking off also at 1 o'clock here today. So here we go, Coach.
All right. All the wondering is going to be over.
No more guesswork, no more prep. Get out there and play. Souhegan will be going left to right across your screen here in the first quarter. Plymouth in their home navy blue uniforms, white pants, white helmets, will be going right to left once they receive this kick. And a little pooch kick coming up short near the 40. And Plymouth will have control. Good work on the gathering up there by Taylor Rousseau, number 28.
Good job hanging on to the ball. They were on him pretty quick and hit him pretty hard, but he hung on the ball. So here we go. They run a 4-4 here, and they run it fairly loose. They don't get 10 in the box because I think they're pretty confident in their ability to adjust and react to whatever the offense is doing.
So just underway, as we've lost our clock camera for just a second. We'll get that back for you.
Straight ahead with the big boy, and he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage for maybe a foot or two gain. So no surprises to anybody there.
Thorne in on the carry. The ball did come out, but
he'd hit the ground already.
Yep.
So they've got big number Sam LeBlanc, who's a senior, who's a tough guy, and they've got him playing on the looks like they've moved him. He was playing defensive end for them on the right side, and they've moved him to the left side as tackle, and I'm sure that's because of Plymouth's tendency to run the plays that way.
So 2nd and 9, Thorne near side, still driving towards midfield, and a good carry there for the Bobcats.
Yeah, they had a nice hole, and I'd stay away from Sam LeBlanc all day long if I had a choice. The good thing about when a team adjusts and favors a certain side and the other side's not as strong, all you got to do is call it to the other hole and you're all set. But we're looking at 3rd down at about 1.5, and Bobcats need to keep this going.
I apologize for the clock camera being messed up on our screen right now, so we're going to deal without that for now. But
and the big fullbacks got the first down.
Again, Robbie Thorne over midfield, and the Bobcat do have their first down of the game.
And Chris has jumped right on the adjustment that they made in the defensive line.
Brought down by Toledo.
Moving LeBlanc over to the Plymouth right side. And Plymouth runs a lot to the right, but they also have that ability to go backside, weak side with the fullback, or to power away from the right side.
So handoff again near side. Thorne near the 40, tackled at about the 42, and Plymouth putting together a solid drive to start.
Yeah, that was a nice move. Robbie kind of dipped the shoulder inside and broke outside, and then fell forward. So he picked up about seven on that, I think. Yeah, 2nd and 3 now. This is what Plymouth's got to do. They've got to control the ball, push it down the field, don't make mistakes, and they got a shot here.
Handoff right side. It looks like Russo is trying to bounce out, and it will be another Bobcat first down.
That time they brought some people up, and they had, it looked like they went into a 5. And,
Russo on the carry.
I think in the attempt to take away the tackle holes.
So 1st and 10 from the 37. Plymouth putting together a solid drive here in the start of this semifinal game. Diamond under center. Handoff, Thorne, and a whistle, and a flag comes in.
I think it's going to be motion on Plymouth.
Flag down on the play.
And it is. You could just see movement somewhere.
Bobcat penalty for a false start.
It appears as if their cornerbacks are flipping as well. Number 2, who is J.G. Bright. See which side he goes to.
So 1st and 15. Again, fullback handoff. Thorne
Ball's
running into ball's out and loose. And it's going to be recovered by the Sabres. And it is Brody Smith, the defensive back, number 16, coming up big.
That was a scoop and score. Luke Diamond did a great job to catch him and bring him down. But, you put the ball on the ground, and this is what happens. And you got to really cover that thing up. He was met at the line of scrimmage, and he was held up. And that's an automatic clue that, guess what, the next guy's coming in and going to punch that ball out of your hands. And that's what happened that time. So you got to really take care of the ball.
So with that, Souhegan in Bobcat territory to start their drive at the 45. Rami Jane under center.
Okay.
And
they pulled. I think that with the jump they did.
They called a timeout.
Called timeout.
Yep.
So.
They did indeed.
For
a minute, I thought maybe Coach Lamb had given him a suggestion with that jump formation.
Going to the offensive side, trying to pull a Plymouth game plan.
But again, offensively, I mean, that's something if you want to not tip off your hand, breaking like that sends the defense into okay, we got to catch up with this now. With so-and-so went there and here, and we got to cover him and whatnot. So, it's something that could prove to be difficult for Plymouth to pick up on right away and have to make adjustments.
Can we talk about it? Rami Jane, the athletic quarterback who can take off and run at any moment, is always a dual threat. You got J.J. Bright, the senior running back, has been dominant this year in Division II and over the course of his career. Then I got to watch out for Connor Cassidy, who had a couple big touchdowns against Plymouth in that rain game earlier this season. Going into the motion. Jane throws out find the receiver there of Cassidy. Flag is down as Cassidy's tackle just shy of the 20.
Flag down on the play.
I'm hoping it's not a face mask. I thought I saw something in there, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. And this is the thing that Plymouth, is so worried about getting beaten deep that they give up the short pass, and this kid will just pick them apart.
Hey, it is on the offense, so that'll be a huge relief for Plymouth because that negates a big play.
And, the thing is they like to do the short stuff. They do like a funnel pass. When they go trips, they're going to throw the football to Brody Smith, who takes 2 steps back, comes towards the quarterback who throws the ball to him, and then he's got 2 other receivers out there in front of him. So they went to that several times against Plymouth the first time they played.
So it will be from the original line of scrimmage. We're going to take this penalty, I believe. Oh, no, it's from the end of the play, so where it was a spot foul. So it'll be 1st and 11 now.
And they're in that single back offense with the quarterback. Now they're flip-flopping sides.
Stevenson comes in motion, number 43 as well. Little pitch out here to J.J. Bright. Bright gets some blockers in front, turns up field right side, still driving forward across the 35 out to about the 32 and a big first down there
and our guy
for the Sabres.
The guy in the corner, on our corner, should have stepped out just to turn everything in, which he got caught up inside, and that allowed Bright to scoot around the end.
Brody Smith will sub off. Same with Grant Harris, number 22. You go wide receivers to the left. 3 wide receivers set. They're stacked up. Watch out for Connor Cassidy in the back of that. Number 5. He's always a target. Option played over to Bright. Bright trying to turn the corner. Has some running room, and he's pulled down across the 20. And another Sabres first down here. Gain of about 13 on the run.
Right on the carry.
They ran that quick option to the left. 43 came in motion to block on the left side. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a play where he slides out into the flat because the 2 receivers out there take their men downfield and there's nobody else out there.
Market at the Bobcat, 17. We're going to spread out the offense once again. Same formation, just flipped to the right side. Kavanaugh and Cassidy are the wide receivers here. Handoff, Bright has some blockers. Dancing towards the 10, along the sideline, tackled just shy of the goal line at the 2, and it's first and goal.
Brought down by
Bright
Rainier.
made a nice sidestep after he got to the line of scrimmage that made the miss. And he's quick. He's quick. He accelerates quickly.
Quarterback keeper, and Rami Jane is in for the Souhegan touchdown.
Touchdown, Sabres. Touchdown scored by number 1.
Replay here. Jane just piling forward. Not quite the Philadelphia Eagles rugby scrum push there. That's now infamous. Extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it's blocked. And can't return it, but nevertheless a big
83.
block.
Foisey, number 83.
Liam Shannon, number 83.
He was pretty much untouched. So that was great. And that's big, taking away that extra point. It can come down to making a big deal. But Plymouth, they fumbled the ball, and that's what happens. The Souhegan made them pay. And that's the thing that the kids have got to do. They got to hang on to that football.
So 7:19 to go, first quarter, 6-0 Souhegan lead. But Plymouth going to try to answer right back. Because just like that, a 45-yard drive here after that turnover.
And they've got, when you've got a running back as they have and a quarterback and some receivers, they can do anything they want out there. They can throw, they can toss, they can, quarterback can keep the ball. They've got a lot of options offensively. And, and Plymouth, I think, has got a very, very young defensive secondary. And they've got to really pay attention to their keys. But I think this quarterback is going to just go ahead and pick them apart up short to medium passes.
So Owen Drake getting ready to kick things off here, number 21. See if it goes short again, like he did to start this game.
And
little blooper gathered at the 35 by Russo, and he'll get out
Russo on the
about the 44. And Plymouth in some good field position to start this drive.
1st and 10 Bobcats from the 44.
$7:16 to work with here. Plenty of time first quarter. Just underway here in this semifinal game. Winner will take on the winner of Pelham in the 1-4 matchup against St. Thomas next Saturday at Stellos Stadium in Nashua with a 1 p.m. kickoff. Live coverage held only with the NFHS network. Handoff up the middle and nowhere for Ben Valenti to go.
Valenti on the carry.
Samuel Stevenson on the final hands-on, and linebacker made a nice play on him. That's the thing. I think once you get in their grasp, you're really not going to go anywhere. They're going to pile on and they're going to push you back. And, you're just as well to go down as anything.
It's not like nothing against the Generals, but the size-wise, Plymouth can't drive with 4 Generals on their back like last week against John Stark.
And they've gone to a different. They've got a 5 front now, so they're plugging the gaps.
Handoff here, near side, and Valenti across midfield, close to the sticks. We'll see where they mark him. He might be just shy. If anything, it's a gain of 6 on the play.
On the carry.
And it is indeed. So 3rd and 1 for the Bobcats.
Well, that 5 front is a great defense for the offense when they run the Delaware wing T like that. The tackle spot is where you want to go.
It's nice to see Patridge into the game in the backfield. Handoff. Valenti with Patridge out front blocking, and it will be a Bobcat first down.
He was hit in the hole.
Valenti on the carry.
Ryland
That's good for another
Rodalunas
Bobcat first down.
made a good stick and pop, but he was tough to stay up and finish the run off. This is where Plymouth needs to score. They need to score right now to let them know they're in a game and they're not going to dominate. So hopefully hang on to the ball and move that ball down the field.
And I look down at the sideline, I see Gabe Keane in pants, so he is not dressed for today. Handoff up the gut. And a gain of 5 for Valenti.
Emmett Nosserman was plowing the hole, and he ended up down about 12 yards downfield by the time he got done. So he did a nice job opening things up and guiding the running back through there.
Tyler Medeiros checking in, number 77 for Plymouth. Plymouth going with that big package. No wide receivers. Handoff Valenti trying to find some running room with some blockers ahead. He will get just shy. It's going to be 3rd and 1 again, but positive yardage for Plymouth here on this drive.
He did a nice job covering up the ball and protecting
Valenti
it.
on the carry.
So 3rd and short here. We'll see what they do. With that 5-man front, their corners aren't covered as well as they could be. I wouldn't be surprised if you might see a speed sweep formation come up.
Third and 1 from the 36. Valenti has some running room. Gain of 5. And another first down for Plymouth as they continue to drive down this field and are flirting with the red zone.
Nice job, and they're staying away from number 77, LeBlanc. And I think that's going to be their spot.
We'll see what head coach Robin Bouquet will try to do to stop that or change things up defensively with his staff for Souhegan. Chris Sanborn always able to change on the fly with his teams over the years. Another 1st and 10. And here in motion. Handoff, Valenti, correction, Patridge, number 24. Gained a couple.
Defender went right by him about 1 yard in the offensive backfield and completely missed him. And there was no adjustment whatsoever when they flip-flopped the set man and the halfback from the left to the right. They didn't respond to that at all. Souhegan didn't respond at all to that.
2nd and 5. Under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Souhegan up 6-0. Handoff, Valenti charging into that gap. And right at the sticks again. I say he's just shy. I'm going to wait for the mark here. Just shy by about a half a yard. So 3rd and 1. Once again. 2:13 and counting. Great crowd on the hillside below us here. Big drive, big shoulder drop by Russo, number 28. And another Bobcat first down, and they're inside the red zone for the first time today.
Brought down by Toledo. First down, Bobcats.
Here, Luis Toledo in on the tackle, number 58 for the Sabres.
They've gone back to their 4 defensive front.
Valenti right side. Gets into the secondary, gets driven back, but he's tackled at the 9. Another 5 yards. Plymouth, big chunks here on this drive on their running game.
Well, they jumped out of the 5 because that wasn't really working. Now they jump back into the 4, and that gives them a little more flexibility and coverage on a sweep, but we haven't been running the ball outside of the tackle all day thus far. So we got 1 minute left in the first quarter. Plymouth's down 6-0, and they're back 4-man front.
2nd and 4. Valenti slips, able to cut up field, dives to about the 5, right at the 6 again. It could be 1st and goal.
Yeah. Well, and there's some room outside. They're not very wide. Souhegan's not very wide on this defense. And popping that thing outside might give them the ability to put the ball in the end zone.
So 3rd and 1 now with 30 seconds to go. In the first quarter, Plymouth really wanting to answer right back on this drive. Only the 3rd drive of the game, and we're at the end of the first quarter. Double shift. And a whistle, and flags come in.
Too much time, it looks like.
Souhegan was pointing to movement. We'll see what the call is.
Flag down on the play.
Yeah, procedure.
It was indeed. So it'll make it 3rd and 6 now. Clock stop 13 seconds.
And these are the kind of mistakes you just can't afford to have. Not against a team like Souhegan. People they've played throughout the year, yeah, you can get away with that, but it's not going to happen with a team that's going to take the ball from you and then push it down the field like they did with the fumble.
So clock back up and running, 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Plymouth got to hurry if they want to get it off. 3 seconds. They do just snap it in time. Valenti hit in the backfield, and just as you counted, Samuel LeBlanc, number 77, gets the stop to end the quarter.
Well, he wasn't, nobody touched him. He was through there all by himself. And
Blank getting a tackle for loss of a yard. That brings us to the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, it's Souhegan 6, Plymouth Regional 0. You're watching the NHIAA Division II football semifinals here on Pemmy Baker TV. Back here for the start of the second quarter. Plymouth now finds themselves on a 4th and 7. Just, mark it actually 4th and 5. I think that spot is incorrect after that last play. They have them marked at the 10. Now it's back at the 11, so really 4th and 6. Looking at where the sticks are lined up. So here we go, Plymouth going forward as naturally as they do here deep in territory. You got to stay with the high-powered offense of Souhegan. Thorne back into the game. Diamond step back to throw over the middle. Finds his receiver downstairs And it's Liam Shannon, number 83, right on the goal line.
Liam did a great job catching that ball. It was thrown pretty low, but he scooped it up and gave Bobcats the first down inside the 5. It looks like 2.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at the 2. But first time Diamond has thrown against Souhegan this year. He didn't make a pass attempt in the rain in the regular season. So here we go.
Well, I knew they were going to do that. And they're going to go Robbie Thorne.
Thorne again has his number. Call is in for a Bobcat touchdown.
Great job by that offensive line on the right side. Nice job by Robbie. That's exactly what Plymouth needed to do to show Souhegan they're in a game. Souhegan, I think, comes up here feeling they're just going to have another replay of the first game. And Plymouth, by doing this, is showing that, wait a minute, fellas. You haven't seen this in a while.
And so for the extra point attempt, kick is up, and it is good. And for the first time this season, Plymouth has a lead on Souhegan, and a 7-6 lead here early on in quarter number 2.
I would not be surprised if Souhegan's speed back, J.J. Wright, almost got his hands on it.
Yeah, he laid out for that one. Bright was he's so athletic.
Well, and what they're doing is they're putting two guys a little bit wider outside of the tight end. And the inside guy goes, and the back's got to cover him, but the outside guy is left untouched. And the idea is that it'll take him too long to get there to block it. Well, it did in that case, but I'll tell you what, it was close. Now what they have to do, they got to stop these guys, get the ball back, and then put another score in to really turn kind of the tide in this game.
You feel it'd be a little hard for Plymouth, just the way they've played this season. Nothing against them whatsoever, but to go into a drive-by-drive shootout with Souhegan, it might be a little tough with the speed and the depth that Souhegan has. We'll see what plays out here over the course of the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, because the other piece about controlling the ball is you guys get tired. And they fair caught that at the 32 on that kickoff.
Zachary Wyberny, number 53, made that fair catch.
That's the thing. Offensively, Souhegan's got so many guns that they can score quickly. Their plays tend to be a little bit longer when they run or they pass, and they're not a grinded out type of team. And it's always, if you are a grind out type of team, it's hard to catch up if you get behind too much with these other teams that can score quickly.
So the Sabres will start from their own 32-yard line here for their second drive of the game. Bright, the lone in the backfield, 4 wide receivers set. Cassidy in motion. Bright on the option. Throw over in the flat to Cassidy. Shakes off a defender. Cuts upfield. Still on his feet. Spinning past tackles. And he's down at the Bobcat 41. Big play there.
Well, that was just poor tackling on Plymouth's part. They had 2 or 3 opportunities, and they did not hold on to them. Not to take anything away from that run, because those spin moves and whatnot, he had a great run on that. But Plymouth's got to hold on to somebody.
About a, 26, 27-yard reception there for Cassidy. Just like that, Souhegan in Bobcat territory again, another 1st and 10. Handoff on the option to Bright. Bright has some running room at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, 2-play drive for Souhegan, and they're back out ahead.
Touchdown.
That looked like it was almost a read by the quarterback when he handed that ball off. He could have faked it and kept it himself around the corner, but he kind of it was like an option handoff where you kind of ride the back, get the ball to him deep, ride it through to see what's going on, and either you pull it out or you leave it in. And he left it in. And talking about striking back quick, now we're at 12-7. They're probably going to go for 2 here, I would imagine, and they are.
A 68 two-play drive for Souhegan, and that's how you answer right back, and a flag down.
Well,
Flag down on the play.
that was for Plymouth. Jumped the gun. It was Tyler Dekatowski who jumped the gun, and what that does now is it gets you halfway to the goal line, and you're closer. So it kind of changes what you're going to do, even running the ball.
Option, quarterback, keeper, and Romy Jane nowhere, but a flag comes in late from the back judge.
Flag down on the play.
Plymouth had him stopped.
I think Thorne picked that up, I believe.
It was 48 and Robbie Thorne, but we'll see what the call is here. Face mask. So we'll move it a couple of inches closer to the goal line and redo the two-point conversion.
Well, I think if he'd made the handoff and not kept the ball, he would have gotten the two-point conversion.
Oh, yeah.
So it won't surprise me to see the ball handed off.
Got Bright in the backfield.
And they're loaded up on the right side.
Quarterback keeper, and Romy Jane will
broke the plane
for the two-point conversion. And it makes it 14-7 Souhegan, so they're back up by a score.
The official just pointed at one of the Plymouth players and basically looked like he was saying, get off the field. So somebody might have gotten a little chippy in there. You can't afford to do that.
You see the referee talking with Chris Sanborn just off to the left of your screen. He is furious about something. I mean, that could be literally anything with Coach Sanborn. Very passionate coach and player in his day. Nevertheless, Souhegan, 2 plays, 68 yards. They're back on top. Again, fans, winner of this will take on the winner of the other semifinal, and Pelham taking on St. Thomas in the 1-4 matchup.
Well, Plymouth's got 10 minutes, just under 11 minutes in the first half left, and hopefully they'll sustain a drive here, put the ball in the end zone again. Again, we're probably going to see this chip shot.
Getting ready to kick it off. No update yet from the other semifinal from what we can tell. Squib kick near side. Bobbled around, it's live, and Plymouth and Russo, who's been very active on special teams, will fall on it, and Plymouth will take over.
Colin McNair wasn't quite sure what to do with that, and if you're a lineman, you don't touch the ball unless you're the center, so...
So Plymouth will start at their own 34. Again, if they can answer right back, it's going to set up the rest of the game of a shootout. I will say, Coach, thankful that we had the warmer weather yesterday to get rid of the rest of the snow that we had a couple of days ago.
So Souhegan's back in that 5 front.
Thorne on the handoff, gets wrapped up from behind, gets out to about the 38.
That's exactly what you want to do running the football. You're going to pound it down there. You pick up 3 to 4.
Brought down by Reardon.
Give him 4 on that carry.
2nd and 6.
You heard Reardon in on that tackle. Aiden Reardon, number 18. Ten minutes to go, first half. Handoff again. Thorne has some blockers on the edge at the tackle and gets about a yard short of the sticks. Gain of about 5 on that run.
4 on the carry.
Plymouth continuing to move here, needing to answer right back. Only seen one pass attempt today. They're going to stay on the ground, and Bright in on the tackle in the backfield. Plymouth saying they got forward progress towards the sticks for Robbie Thorne, and it looks like they will indeed just have enough for a first down.
Good job, because they had that one snuffed. They got there a little quicker.
Bright just slipped through untouched again. Thorne in the backfield. Again with a handoff to him, has some blockers, gets at least 2, maybe 3 with forward progress. We'll give him 3 out to the 47.
Down by Gilbert.
Again, not much, but just got to keep those chains moving. If he feels like it's going to be who has last possession of this game really has a chance to win it, or really probably will win it in that case, the way this game's going. Patridge left side with Thorne blocking for him. He's over midfield. Gain of about 4 or 5. Looks like 5 on the carry.
That was another one where he could have popped that thing outside. There was nobody out there. He cuts up going north and south very well, but then sometimes you keep that head up to see if you can pop it outside or back across the inside.
So with that 3rd and 2 situation, you see Ben Valenti into the game for Thorne. Souhegan back to that forefront. Pitch out here. Valenti nowhere to go.
Yeah. You've got, in a short yard situation, you cannot hold up like that. He paused, and he was dead in the water once he did that. He's up high to begin with, and you're not going to run over him with 77. LeBlanc is going to grab you, hug you, throw you on the ground.
So they will give him a yard on the play. It is 4th and 1 now. Plymouth going for it just over midfield. Got to be careful. You got to convert here. Otherwise, you give Souhegan some great field position. Try to make it a 2-score game. Showing blitzing. Once again, J.J. Bright blows open the hole, and Valenti has nothing, and it's a turnover on downs.
Not much to say about that. Plymouth just got beat on that.
So 1st and 10 at 48 for Souhegan, a chance to go up by 2 scores, and that'll be a huge breathing room because they can really settle into their own style and chew up the clock, as we saw them do all season long. Plymouth needs a turnover here.
Well, I think that this offense just wants to score points.
Yeah.
They're hot to trot, and they got a place to race. So, and there's a little pitch to the right.
And Stevenson. Oh, Souhegan wants a flag in late. Nothing coming. Looks like Stevenson got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Plymouth had a guy coming in from the outside, and he went right by the runner in the backfield. And again, you got to make those things happen. They didn't get anything on that, but still, you got to make those tackles.
See Bright checking back in here. Chase Knuckles as a wide receiver, number 11.
This is where you may see that speed, the tunnel. There it is right there.
Check down to the right. Pass complete for the likes once again of Brody Smith. Cross the 30, a big first down for the Sabres.
he is the go-to on that kind of a pass play, and they run that. You saw them set up to make it look like it was going to be going to J.J. Bright, and that was the fake, and then he turned around and hit number 16, Brody Smith, with the pass. And again, these guys can run when they get the football.
At the Bobcat 27-yard line, 1st and 10 Sabres. Jane thought about an option, dances past a couple of defenders, but gets hit in the backfield for a loss of 1. And Robbie Thorne was the one in there to help stop and break up that play.
Brought down by Crane.
Crane officially gets the tackle. So 2nd and 11 now. Kavanaugh wide here on the near side. Cassidy in that slot position. Rolling out. Jane gonna air it for the end zone, and it's intercepted!
I believe that's Jeremy Rainier.
Jackson Rainier.
Jackson, right.
Getting into a little shoving match and confrontation there. As it came down, we'll show you the replay, but boy, that is exactly what Plymouth needed.
Rainier was right in his pocket. I mean, he was right there, and he had position on him. And even though he probably gave up about 4 or 5 inches, he was still able to box the kid out and make the interception. Great play by Jackson. I think I want to apologize to him. I think I called him by his brother's name, Jeremy. He's a good kid too. So,
but Plymouth tucked in their own end at their own 2-yard line. But more crucially, they got the stop and the turnover they wanted. Need some breathing room as Souhegan's going to pack the box here and plug up the running lanes. Plymouth with Thorne maybe gets out to the 3 or 4-yard line.
Thorne on the carry.
They'll give him 2.
LeBlanc's getting a breather. He's not in right now.
Plymouth using a lot of clock. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 14-7 lead Souhegan on the road on their semifinal matchup. Diamond under center. Rainier in motion. Handoff. Thorne gets across the 5 out to about the 7. And Plymouth has some breathing room, but it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is a spot where you got to really be careful. And, Chris is going to try to punch that out if he can, at least give him some room to punt if he can't get the first down. But it's precarious. I think last weekend we saw a safety with the same sort of yard line.
Yeah, it was that turnover with John Stark on their own 1 or 2 yard line, and Plymouth answered right back, got the safety. Or no, it was the other way around. My apology. That's how they got there too, and then they got the touchdown at the end, but missed the extra point. Little dunk over the top, and it's almost intercepted. Believe that was Grant Harris, number 22, who makes that stop, and it's 4th and 5, and a big 3 and out defensively for Souhegan, pinching Plymouth deep in their own end.
They've got 2 minutes and 59 seconds, so they can either try to get a return on this, or they've got everybody on the line of scrimmage, so I imagine they're going to try to block this.
High snap to Stone. Gets a beautiful kickoff end over end. It's going to roll out, actually come dead stop, and rounds back towards the 30. So very short field for Souhegan for their next drive to make up for that interception, if they can do so here late in the second quarter.
Well, it was a great job stopping Souhegan the last time and getting the ball back. Kept the game at 14-7. And if they can do it again here, that'll be to their benefit for sure.
Souhegan, 2 timeouts remaining. Plymouth has all of theirs to go here in the first half if they choose to go that route. But you wonder if Souhegan will make another play for the end zone. Just trying to get a quick shot here at the 31 officially.
Well, they got almost 3 minutes left, so they got a lot of time.
Bobbled and dropped by Jane, and he's going to be hit for a big loss. I don't think he was ready for the snap.
Well, there you go. That's how you take yourself out of a good position, and we can be thankful that he did fumble the ball.
A 9-yard sack there for Eli Crane. Plymouth has come to play today. Kavanaugh and Cassidy in the near side as wide receivers. Option over to Bright. Bright cuts upfield, gets past a few more into the deep secondary and tackled or pushed out of bounds just past the 15, and Plymouth just can't keep up with his speed.
And that is a read handoff by the quarterback. He's got, when you do that handoff, the quarterback will step back to get the ball in his stomach before he gets up to the quarterback, and then he'll ride him through with his eyes open to see what's going on defensively. And he made a good choice on that one.
So we don't have the other wide receiver, number 9. We don't have a 9 on our roster, so we apologize for that. Jane, quarterback keeper on the option, and it's fumbled! Plymouth recovers right in the hands of Tyler Medeiros.
Fumble on the play. Picked up by number 77, Tyler Medeiros.
Plymouth's defense has really come alive here.
Well, he fumbled as he was coming down. He fumbled that ball, and a great turnover for Plymouth. You can see they've mishandled the ball a couple of times on that drive alone, and it has come back to bite them. Now, Plymouth could really run the old 2-minute offense and try to do something with it.
Plymouth from their own 17 for this drive now. And a timeout called. Time running out here for the Bobcats to work with.
Well, there was only 10 men on the field. They said the running back did not go in. It looks like they were going into speed sweep formation. I don't see Keene anywhere, so he's...
Yeah, I mentioned earlier he's in jeans on the sideline. He's got his uniform on, but not dressed to play today, so clearly some injury hampering him.
Granite State Dairy Promotion, low-fat chocolate milk.
Just see him down there.
Natural
Off our camera to the right.
protein.
Nevertheless, Plymouth, we talked about it. If one man goes down, you've got a second, a third, a fourth to really step up in that running game.
And refuel with chocolate.
And that right there, having to burn that time out, those are mental mistakes. Somebody's not ready to go, and you can't have those. Not at this stage of the game. You shouldn't be making those kind of mistakes. At the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Not even just the stage of the game. It's the semifinals. You've got to be ready and on your game for that. Back to action. Ben Valenti in the backfield. Souhegan to that 4-man front as you talked about. They're interchanging that throughout the afternoon.
They're back in the 5.
Oh, 5, yeah. Now they have the extra go down. Diamond steps back to throw over the middle. And is it intercepted? It is! Connor Cassidy answers right back. And that one was just floated up by Luke Diamond.
Yeah, that was not a good choice. You didn't have a man open, for one thing, and then you were throwing off your back foot. So that was kind of rushed and not a good choice. But, hey, they happen. And Luke's had a great season. He's done a great job. Thought Rainier was going to rip it out of his hands.
He's close to doing that. For a second, I thought he came down with it, but Cassidy able to wrap that one up. So Souhegan with another drive in short territory. Pitch over to Bright. Bright trying to turn the edge. And Nathan Lyons in his first tackle of the afternoon. Yeah. And once he gets going, he's hard to stop.
Well, he's got good speed, too. He's got good speed and quickness. And he latched onto him. And, of course, Bright didn't have the opportunity to get any speed up, so it was well played defensively.
Loss of 3 on the play. 1:12 to go here, second quarter. Bright empties to the flat. Throw right side. And it's once again Brody Smith. Clock will stop. Gets those 3 yards back. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, they've got a couple of nice crossing patterns, too, that you may end up seeing.
Make it 3rd and 9 really here. And a flag. That's going to be on Plymouth.
Flag on the play.
Like there was motion on the line there. So encroachment on the Bobcats. So it'll bring up 3rd and 4. Bright has some blockers. Right side, cuts past Lyons. He's tackled at about the 11. And it's a Sabres first down. Clock will stop for the Chains.
I think some of this chippiness you're seeing out there is might be coming on the part of the Souhegan player, because I noticed on that he was tackled and down, and he tried to get up before the guy on top of him could even move. And
35 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 at the 11. Pitch out here to Bright. Trying to turn the corner. Oh boy, Plymouth nearly had him hit with their Nossaman.
Nossaman got his hands on him, grabbed that shirt, slowed him down, so the tackle was to be made.
Timeout taken by Souhegan.
Timeout Sabres.
Got 23 seconds left. And it's 2nd and 10.
But if you would have told me it was going to be a 14-7 game, and that's really in the first quarter, I would not have believed you the way this has been.
Yeah.
This has been terrific.
No. Well, it's been good, but in terms of the reason the score is there, because both teams have been making mistakes, fumbles and whatnot, and they've shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. But I mean, it's nice to see it go both ways and not just one way. 23 seconds now. Boy, I'll tell you, if I'm Souhegan, I'm going to get number 2 out there in the flat, one-on-one with somebody.
Still no update from the other semifinal. If you know it, send us a message, whether on Facebook, YouTube chat. We're here with a live stream. And here we go, 23 seconds, 2nd and 10. Plymouth trying to get set up defensively. Rami Jane, quarterback keeper all the way. Runs into a couple of players, maybe gets 2 with a forward progress. Oh, and some more shoving action happened in the play, and it's Eli Crane who lost his helmet and had some words to say afterwards.
Jane on the keeper, brought down by Crane.
Timeout, 3rd and final timeout by Souhegan. So they'll make it 3rd and 8, I believe. Yes. With 11 seconds to go in the second. So here, you almost think, Coach, that Souhegan's going to try to air it out for the end zone. You don't really have too much time to play with here with no timeouts.
They can get a couple off with 11 seconds if they're, and they're going to be quick ones. They're not covering a lot of distance, but again, I'm a little surprised that they're not trying to get the ball outside where one of the running backs can go one-on-one.
But you got to think about it. It's 3rd and 8. You can't get a short play and then spike the ball to down it, because then it's a turnover on down. So you're limited on options, and hopefully that will play into the favor for the Bobcats.
Yeah. I mean, if you get your quarterback rolling out and he's got receivers there where he's got a choice to either throw it or run it, that's also a good option.
We'll see what happens. Here we go.
Or they could run the option.
That's exactly what they do. Throw over and over the head of his receiver.
And thank God he did, because our defender just slipped and fell on the ground.
James pass is incomplete.
Nolan Galvin took a little bit of a header there, and he was wide open. Quarterback just lofted it too far. Well, here we go.
So, 4th and 8 with 7 seconds. Chain rolls out to his right, looking for a receiver in the end zone. Has no one open. Throws it back into the field of play towards Cassidy. It falls incomplete. And we will reach halftime.
He rolled right and threw that across his body. He had number 2 out there with him. He was just kind of lollygagging along. And so that's what happens. Plymouth did a good job on the coverage, and they put some pressure on him, and Plymouth held him off again. So the defense is coming up strong here, and we end the first half 14-7 with Souhegan in the lead, but Plymouth very much in the game, and this will be a battle royale in the second half.
So really looking at things, who has stood out to you the most, Coach, here in the first half?
For which team?
For both teams. We'll go with that. We'll go Plymouth first.
Well, I think that the offensive line for Plymouth has been doing a good job, and they pound the ball well with Thorne and with Valenti. I think that Souhegan, their line is pretty good as well, and they've got speed. They got speed, and I think that some of their plays may not be ideal against the Plymouth defense, but they certainly have the arsenal and the opportunity where they could do a little bit more than they're doing right now. So I think you'll see them open up a little more in the second half to try to get that score, and then just count on Plymouth not being able to score quickly and get too far behind. But again, they fumbled the ball twice on one drive, and those mistakes are going to come back to haunt you.
We'll see what happens as we reach halftime. Souhegan gets ahead early, has that 6-0 lead after the blocked extra point attempt. Plymouth answers on a long drive to end the first quarter. Souhegan answers right back on their next drive in 2 plays, going 68 yards. And then it's been all defense the rest of the first half from there. But at the break, it's Souhegan 14, Plymouth Regional 7. You're watching the NHIAA Division II semifinals here on Pemmy Baker TV. Back here for the start of the second half. Souhegan, the 3 seed, leading Plymouth, the 2 seed, 14-7 at the break. We're ready for the kickoff. Souhegan deferred after winning the toss. They will receive here, and after getting denied to end the first half, they'll pick it up at their own 20, and Stevenson is hammered at the 34. Plymouth thinks they have it. Still no word yet. And it does look like it will stay with Souhegan, but the ball came out on that hit.
That was a heck of a hit.
Whew, you can hear it up here in the library. My goodness.
Well, that would have been a potential game changer
That would
right
have been
there.
an absolute game changer.
But I think that the Plymouth kids know that they're in this. They've got every bit of chance to win this thing.
Update from the other semifinal, 14-0 lead for Pelham, the top seed, against St. Thomas at the break. Jane. Plymouth does the shift of the Lamb special, and they get Souhegan to jump.
Give me a leg of lamb right there. So I just want to put a quick shout out. We've got fans watching all the way from Hawaii. Kevin Mays, who has been an official for many, many, many years, is vacationing with his wife, and they're listening to this and watching this on Penny Baker TV.
Handoff. Bright bounces off a couple of tackles, gets across the 30 though. Liam Shannon will have to head out as he lost his helmet for a play.
Looked like a good stick by Mr. Crane.
I say no gain on that play, so 2nd and 15 once again. Kavanaugh out wide to the left. Cassidy in motion. Option, throw over to Cassidy in the flat. Rainier is there to hit him right at the 30 for no gain. He read that perfectly.
Great job by Jackson Rainier. He smelled that one coming and didn't fool anybody.
Just slipped off. Who was that? That was Chase Knuckles, number 11 there he was up against.
Well,
got right past him. So here we go, 3rd and 15 now.
And watch Brody Smith. He just came into the game. They may try to get him one-on-one, something quick out to the right maybe.
Cassie in motion again. Option. Jane gonna step back. Airs it over the middle. And overthrows his receiver, but it was for Brody Smith.
Geez.
And Rainier had his hands all over his mask.
No, I think that was Foisey, wasn't it?
Was it Foisey? Yeah. Yes, it was, 8-4, sorry.
That's too bad because that ball was overthrown. And that's a big break for Souhegan. I mean, it's easy up here to see all that stuff. It's hard when you're on the field trying to make the play. So Foisey's had a great season. He's a great captain. That just unfortunately got his hands on the receiver. I'm just wondering if...
So it's a 15-yard penalty to make it an automatic first down.
Okay, but that... brings them out to the 45. And first down, so
a huge play. What Plymouth was going for, a 3 and out there. But Sabres keep this opening second half drive alive. Plymouth going that shift again, and another flag. And it looks like it will be on the Sabres.
There we go.
False start on the offense, so it's going to move him back again, 5. Heard a fan over there say let him play, but if you jump, you jump.
Let him play, meaning you
can let him play illegally.
Oh, don't worry that they're not following the rules. Let him just play, right? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta love it.
It's a little easier to defend that comment if it's basketball, but.
So back at their own 40, Sabres again in motion with Cassidy. Option to Bright. Bright gets some blockers out front, down the sideline, charges over midfield.
Defensive end was containing on that, but he got too far upfield and never had a chance to grab Bright.
Gain of 10, so it'll make it second and 5 right at midfield for the Sabres. Shout out to our friends at New Hampshire Sports Page. Their recordings for highlights. You can see it on the far side in the press box where we've been most of the season until the internet decided not to work for us. Option now sent over and fumbled by Bright. And Medeiros hits him in the backfield, a loss of 3 on an absolute broken play. And one of the few mistakes you see.
We got a Plymouth kid down.
Souhegan this year, and it's Russo, number 28.
Yeah, it looks like a knee.
He did come down a little funny. That's something you never want to see.
Well, the quarterback started off, he faked the pitch, kept the ball, which was good, but they didn't keep that. The guy you're pitching the ball to has to keep a relationship, like a 1-by-4 yard relationship with the quarterback. That broke down, and the ball was pitched a little behind our number 2 here, Bright. And he dropped the ball, and Plymouth was all over it. You're not going to get many opportunities to pick the ball up and start running again when you drop it against Plymouth. Their pursuit is so good, and Medeiros is right in there. You're not going to get away from Medeiros if he gets his hands on you.
277s playing today have been focal points defensively for both teams this season. See John Bruley and the training staff out there. I believe that's team doctor and Dan O'Neill. I could be mistaken, next to coach. You feel for Russo, hopefully it's nothing serious.
That is Dan O'Neill just called for 2 guys to come out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to help him off. Hopefully, again, nothing serious. You'd hate to have your season, let alone your sophomore season, in that way.
He's putting weight on it.
That's a good sign.
But
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on Russo. Wish him the best. But it brings up 3rd and 8 now. From the Sabres 47. Jane throws near side, high over his intended target of Kavanaugh. And it's 4th down.
And they'll probably still go for it. I don't see them giving the ball up. But field position.
Here comes the kicking team.
So they're going to do that.
Yeah. Kind of surprised by that. As Brody Smith is on to punt it away, number 16.
Well, they may feel that, Plymouth, when they were backed up on the 2-yard line, they had a tough time getting out of there. And they may feel that let's make Plymouth go 95 yards.
Good snap. Oh, he's going to off and run on the fake. And Smith has nowhere to go. He maybe gets 1 out of the play. Plymouth able to read it beautifully. And it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, so they decide to fake it.
I don't blame them, though.
I'm surprised that they didn't have a pass in mind, because a lot of times that's the easiest thing to do. Usually on a play like that, you put the ball back to the up back, and he takes off with it. But they snapped it all the way back, and then he was just going to take off and run.
Boy, what a break for Plymouth. So now they'll start at the 47 of Souhegan. Up the middle there. And it's Robbie Thorne.
They jumped into that 5 front on defense again.
Thorne on the carry.
Picked up about 4 on that. Dan looks.
Yep, he's at the 43. So 2nd and 6. See what Plymouth can do here. Thorne. Good blocking by Patridge downfield. Thorne still driving across the 35 for a Bobcat first down.
Thorne on the carry. That's good for a Bobcat.
Again, Plymouth running backs just keep their legs moving and get 1, 2, 5 extra yards after contact.
Well, I ran into Robbie after the game last week, and we talked about the fumbles, and he says you're not going to see any more. He said he's doubling up on everything. So good for him.
We love players that are coachable, don't have too much of an ego. Always want to learn to get better. Valenti hit right at the line of scrimmage. Gains maybe 2 on forward progress. Plymouth trying to go with a fullback carry there and try to get the timing off of Souhegan. I'm going to give him 1.
Yeah, he met the resistance. it took him right straight back. Well, Valenti tends to get up a little bit too straight, and you don't have any leverage when you're up there like that. So with the first hit, if you're getting hit while you're kind of standing up, you really don't have a chance to push it any further.
Blitz showing. Valenti again hit at the line of scrimmage. Will maybe get 1. It'll be 3rd and long.
Valenti on the carry, brought down by Bright.
So,
well, there's a couple plays we haven't seen just yet. I'm not going to mention them.
Yeah,
somebody's listening, but
I'll leave that off.
This is a really good time for either one of these plays.
Mansu checking in.
And I think Chris Sanborn's looking. This is 4-down territory.
Got to be. 7:14 to go in the 3rd. You're down by 7 still, and
we're in the speed sweep.
A battle in the trenches. Mansu in motion, handoff, Valenti right side. Good blocking out in front across the 20. 10, 5, touchdown, Bobcats! Just like that.
Nice job. Great job, great call on that.
Touchdown scored by number 23.
First time they went to the speed sweep. It really changes the dynamic when you've got 2 wings out there. Linebackers have got to pay closer attention to things. When you see the speed sweep motion coming at you, many times it's a handoff to the guy that's already running full speed. So that was a great call, well executed, and a great job by Mr. Valenti.
Hats off to Brennan Johnson, number 85, downfield, getting the protection, extra point up and good. And we're knotted at 14 here, midpoint of the 3rd quarter.
And I'll tell you, JJ was about an inch from that ball again coming from the outside. But, hey, miss as good as a mile, I guess they say. And Bobcats are, it's one thing beating Plymouth anywhere. Beating them at home is really significant if you can, because they just don't lose much at home.
No, and I mean, they came up here in the regular season last year and put a beat down on Plymouth. There was running time in the second half.
Yeah. And I don't, I think Plymouth's gained so much more confidence in Souhegan that, first time around, Souhegan just muscled them and threw over them and whatnot. And this time Plymouth's like, I don't think you can do that to us anymore.
Yeah, talking with Coach Sanborn over the course of the season, and we were talking about that game really before St. Thomas game. As the team, they couldn't get off the bus. It just felt sloppy, just dead legs, couldn't execute. Obviously the weather with the monsoon, the turnovers, it just wasn't a Plymouth game.
Yeah.
And they're showing what Bobcat football is all about here today, trying to get back to the championship game. So, a little pooch kick again, fumbled! And it looks like it's recovered by Souhegan. It is, but lucky break.
Yeah, but they're starting out at the 26, which is it's as good a kick as you're going to get. The thing is, a lot of those up backs don't get a lot of opportunity to catch kickoffs either. So it's not their usual thing.
Radelunas, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, number 15, able to fall back on his fumble. But unfamiliar territory for Souhegan really this year. Just like Plymouth, they've either been blowing out or had a tough game in that comeback bid against Pelham on the road when they were down early big. Both teams really haven't been in this tight battle late in the second half all year. Bad snap. Jay has to fall on it, and Souhegan looks a little disorganized and uncomfortable right now.
Touchdown by Johnson.
Taylor Rousseau is back in. I believe he came out of the game, ankle, and he's back in there now. So, fortunately, that's a good sign. He's back on the playing field. So,
well, it makes it 2nd and 16 now. Correction, 18. High snap. Pitched back to Bright, trying to turn the corner.
I'd be surprised if it's not a flag on that because it looked like there was a hold over by the sidelines.
I don't see any lingerie out there.
No, I don't either, but I saw somebody's arm go around somebody's neck.
But a good recovery of about 11 yards.
Big play here.
Third and 7. At the 29. A lot of confusion on the play calling here from Souhegan by the looks of things, trying to get set up.
Okay.
Bright empties out. Jane throws back to the far side, finds Smith across midfield. Smith still driving, trying to get tackled. Lyons comes in and helps out late. But a big first down inside the Bobcat 30.
Well, they brought the motion man across, which loosened things up on that backside, and hit his man. And he also is got great speed and made a nice play on that.
About a 42-yard play, if I'm correct. 1st and 10 at the Bobcat 29. Handoff, Bright bounces off a tackle. Flag comes in. He's going to make it to the end zone, but there is a flag down.
Flag down on the play.
And this looks like it's coming back.
Another thing too is the tackling is just not good. He was tackled about hip high. He's not a big guy, so you got to either get really low on him, and he just bounced off that tackle and took off up the sideline. So Plymouth's got to wrap him up.
It was Liam Shannon who had contact, but he was looking like he was held as well from his pleading to the officials. We'll see what the official says. And it is a hold on the Sabres, so that will negate the touchdown. And that's a big penalty.
Well, this game is up in the air. This is for grabs, and both teams are making some good plays, and then they're having some bad ones. So
now it's 1st and 20. It stays knotted at 14 here. Under 5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Snap over the head. Bright will cover it up. Actually going to continue to run with it. Bright down the sideline. It's still, and a flag comes in from the backfield at the 35, and what is going on?
I don't know, but man,
What?
Bright can play for me anytime.
Oh, my goodness.
He picked that up and took off up the sideline. But
Instead of falling on it and losing another 10, 15 yards.
we got a hold against Souhegan again.
Yeah.
So
So it's going to be, they're going to keep it first in, well, you got to take the penalty if you're Coach Sanborn, because that was going to be positive, or, up there short within the 10. So it's going to be now first and 30 near midfield.
Yeah, it's a hold. Man, I'll tell you, this has got to be discouraging for Souhegan as well to have these things take them back. It's got to be frustrating, but they're doing it to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you lose a touchdown because of a hold, and now you lose on a broken play some short yardage to work with on another hold, and now
It's still
wait a
first
minute.
down.
That's supposed to be back another 5 yards. Wait. That spot can't be correct.
Well, I think Sanborn would be out there right now if it wasn't.
So the first hold.
Oh, he's wide open.
Oh, wide open over the top. Going for the end zone, and a touchdown for Chase Knuckles, the sophomore.
And they've only run that play about 4 or 5 times where they get the motion to the far side, the fake to that side, and then they throw to the guy going down the sideline. Now, if I saw that again, I think you'd see our secondary would be biting up on the receiver. He may have run a stop and go pattern on that, but we certainly fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, Nolan Gavlin there caught on that play, but that second hold was only a 5-yard penalty and not 10. Down, blocked
It again. And again, it's Jackson Rainier.
Extra point blocked by number
What?
34, Jackson.
This is one of the craziest, I wouldn't say just playoff games, but games I've seen in high school football in a while.
Yeah, it's
Whew.
like there's constant incredible plays and incredible mistakes. It's a whole mixed bag. It's a stew.
Oh, I like that. Stew sounds good right now with the temperature.
And we're looking at 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Plymouth's down 20-14, but far from out of the game. This is it's going to be a tough one.
Still no other updates from the Pelham-St. Thomas game. Still reading 14-0 at half. If anyone has more, that would be great if you let us know. So ready for the kickoff. Be Owen Drake once again, number 21 for the Sabres. However this ends up, this has been one heck of a football game between two powerhouses in Division II. Squib kick there by Drake, fouled on at the 38 by Eli Crane, and Plymouth will go back to work offensively.
Well, this is it. Here we go. Extra points definitely may play a factor here.
Oh, yeah.
Plymouth's gotten both theirs, and Souhegan.
They've missed both of their kicks, but have converted on the two-point
2-point,
conversion to make it that 14-14. Bargwin, wide on the near side. First time we've called his name here this afternoon. Hasn't been targeted for most
We're
of
in
the
our
season.
speed sweep.
Handoff up the middle
Nice job.
by
Nice
Ben
job.
Valenti across the 45.
Great play. They threw some motion in there, reverse pivot by the quarterback, and then kind of a trap inside and for good yardage.
Gain of 7 on the carry. Need to get out to the 49.
And we're We're in the speed sweep again, formation.
And 2 in motion.
Same play.
Same exact play. You were right, Coach. And a first down for Plymouth.
And
Thanks to the Ben Valenti.
Mr. Ben said, thank you very much. I'll take it. And did a very, very nice job on that.
And that's good for another Bobcat first down.
I know Coach Sanborn has a firm belief in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we'll do it till they stop us. Plymouth's offense, if they can chew the time up and go down and score and take the lead with the extra point.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on Souhegan going into the fourth. Over 3 minutes to go. Fullback handoff, and Valenti has nowhere to go. Might get back to the line of scrimmage. And we'll give him 1. Bring up 2nd and 9. .235 and counting. Right up the gut, Valenti across the 40. Make it mid-distance here on 3rd down.
Well, again, they got 2 plays here to get the first down.
At the 39.
I think you can.
I think we can guess where this one's going to go. Valenti again, going to the near side, and it's past the 6. Another Bobcat first down.
Valenti on the carry.
Lunas in on the tackle, number 15.
J.J. Bright shot up, and he actually kind of took himself out of the play on that. And it was quite a hole for Valenti to run through.
Minute 35 left in the 3rd. Souhegan leading 20-14 on the road. Diamond handoff finds Valenti again. He spun across the 25, a gain of about 8 on the play.
Ben did a nice job in that run, covered the ball well. The one thing he could probably use a little more of is lower the shoulder and just hit somebody, because he doesn't really do that, but that I think would help him. He's a good-sized kid, and we know he's tough, and I think that part of the game, as far as running that way, would probably be a boon to him.
Official timeout here. Radalunas down on the field after that last play.
Looks like number 15, Rylan Radalunas, Souhegan. We hope he's just got the wind knocked out of him or something, but
that will kind of let everyone take a quick breath here. 1:09 to go in the 3rd. So glad you could all join us live here on Pemmy Baker TV, channel 1302 on Spectrum Cable in the Plymouth area. Also live here on YouTube and Facebook. Looks like it's still 14-0. Pelham.
You know, it's one thing, too, when it comes to the playoffs, the teams may have met early in the season, but they've got something up their sleeve for that next time. And, that can change the dynamic of things. Pelham scoring only 14 points in the first half is not like them. But St. Thomas had a lot of good athletes, and they could throw and run the ball. And I think that they may have had a few wrinkles put into their offense, which may have caught Pelham unaware. And that's how it works. Both these teams out here, they've got some stuff that they haven't shown yet, I have a feeling. And, they'll use it if they have to.
Great to see Radalunas back up on his feet and walking off under his own power. Hopefully he just, again, got the wind knocked out of him. When the temperatures being near freezing like this, expect every shot to feel and hurt just a little bit more this time of year.
It's like hitting a baseball on the cold bat.
Stings the hands. Nothing worse. Well, I can think of a few things. 2nd and 2. Valenti still trying to drive towards the 20s. Gets the first down. They'll give him the 2 yards.
Valenti on the carry. Good.
So under a minute to go. Clock will stop while the chains move. We get set. But you're right. It feels like Plymouth's going to try to pop one in here in the final minute. And we'll see what the fourth quarter brings.
A lot of running room out there on the wide side of the field.
Plymouth will shift that way. Handoff, Valenti cuts in at the tackle. And a big stop defensively. Grant Harris, number 22, gets that stop.
Valenti on the carry, brought down by Ben.
They'll give him 3. And Plymouth inside the red zone for the second time this afternoon. Plymouth going to bleed this clock. Looks like they're going to take it all the way down to the fourth quarter. And they will indeed. So at the end of 3, Souhegan regains the lead after a strange drive as they lead it 20-14. As we head to the fourth quarter, you're watching the Division II semifinals here on Pemmy Baker TV. To the fourth quarter we go. Winner will take on the winner of Pelham St. Thomas in next week's championship game at Stello Stadium on Saturday the 18th for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Will it be a rematch between Pelham, Souhegan, or are we going to see something different in Division II? 2nd and 7, Bobcats. Handoff, Valenti trying to turn outside. Cassidy was there, but a flag comes in.
Yeah, we might have a hold on Plymouth. I don't know.
Yep, that is exactly what we see.
Yeah. Well, they were certainly ready for that. They had a host of tacklers out there with that handoff, and it's a little too wide. You can't really run around these guys. We'll see. Might need to mix things up just a little bit.
Is Souhegan going to accept it, or are they going to? Because it would be 3rd and long. Looks like they are going to accept the penalty.
Yeah, they're going to take.
So it's going to make it 2nd and 17 on the 10-yard penalty. Here with 11:55 to go in the ball game, just underway fourth quarter. Dan Salzer alongside Mike Courier, bringing you coverage of this semifinal. Valenti in the backfield with Patridge. Patridge's going to block for Valenti. Valenti pounding forward, getting low, getting that forward progress, and back near the 21. Looks like he might have gained 6 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd and long. Mark him at the 22. Bargwin lined up wide.
In the speed sweep.
Diamond flushed from the pocket. Going to try to take off and run. Big loss there. Surprised he didn't try to throw it away to save the yardage. But a big loss there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Looks like it's 4th and 16. And Plymouth going to go for it. Patridge will come off. Stevenson confused on the substitution. Plymouth can hurry, try to get numbers here if they snap it. They don't. Getting off the field in time is LeBlanc.
Plymouth's in the shotgun.
High snap. Diamond looking, checking down his receivers. Going to take off and run. Has nowhere to go. And it's a turnover on downs. A big defensive stop for Souhegan.
You're just not going to get the kind of time you need to throw the ball that far downfield with that kind of rush and pressure. I'm a little surprised there wasn't any kind of pass plays that are shorter in the flat, 10-yard, 7-yard outs, things of that nature. They're a lot more of a high percentage. So Plymouth turns it over, and hopefully they can get the ball back. 10.5 minutes left in the game.
But now, 10.5. Souhegan can really chew up some clock here and punch one in late and make it almost, never say never, but almost impossible for Plymouth to come back if they can chew up, 6-7 minutes here, depending on this drive, as they start at their own 26.
I don't see Bright on the field.
Nope, Stevenson pitched back to him, trying to turn the corner.
Oh, boy.
Pass Lions, and he'll be knocked out by Nossaman near the 1st down marker, a gain of about 9.
Bright's back in now. He's coming in now.
Push him out earlier, so it'll be 2nd and 2 now. Good run there by Stevenson. Fans PBTV, your home for all things Plymouth. More than just high school athletics. We cover all the town meetings and keep you informed of everything happening around the area. Second and 2. Option, and Bright is hit in the backfield. Great job by Zach Cotter, number 63.
Bright on the carry.
Great defensive play on that one.
Brought down by Thorne and Carter.
Just got right through there quickly. Loss of 4. Makes it 3rd and 6. Just over 9 minutes to go. Jane. Throw it out right side, and that's incomplete. Off the fingertips there of Kavanaugh.
Jane incomplete, intended for Kavanaugh.
Just like that, 4th and 6. Plymouth can get some good field position if they hold on here. Clock does stop.
And it doesn't, I don't think we'll see a fake again.
Yeah.
They've got the lead. They
Little
got 9
deep.
minutes left. They're going to try to put that ball back there. With hopefully Plymouth will get the ball clean in the air, and then they can hopefully get a good situation to start from.
Good kick here.
Not that good.
High. It's going to actually fall short. Friendly bounce for the Sabres. And it's going to keep rolling down the far sideline to the Bobcat 36. But nevertheless, Plymouth has some room to work with and a good 3 and out there for the Bobcats.
Well, if Plymouth can sustain a drive, this is perfect timing, because with about 8 minutes and 51 seconds, they can chew up a lot of that on the drive and go in and score, get the lead, then it really puts the onus on Souhegan to try to catch up. But Plymouth's got to do that, so we got to get some blocks. They've adjusted somewhat to Plymouth's offense, and they've had some success shutting them down.
Sun going down here, handoff. Thorne, good job wrapping up the football and spins across the 40. Gain of about 4.
Thorne on the carry.
Bring up 2nd and 6. Good job there by Robbie Thorne. Talked about it's going to come down to who has possession on the last drive. Said that back in the first quarter. Handoff, Thorne again. Just bullying up towards midfield and still on his feet with 5 Sabres trying to tackle him. And it's a Bobcat first down.
And guess what? You're not getting the ball.
Nope. He had 2 hands gripped so hard on that football.
Down, Bobcats.
However this goes down, what a fantastic football game here today.
You know, whereas I think Valenti doesn't have that initial power that Robbie has, but he is faster and can go further, I think, on a run.
There's Coke Machine again. Gets a couple of yards.
Thorne on the carry.
Can hear a little bit probably on our field microphone. Coaching staff for Souhegan saying try to get that ball out there from Robbie Thorne. I mean, the more you have him stood up, the more of a chance that is to knock it free. We saw that in the first quarter. 2nd and 8. Thorne on the fullback carry. Cuts back to his left and dives for the marker and will get another Bobcat first down.
Thorne on the carry.
Well, you see, they're going straight at him. They're not trying to go off tackle because they've kind of adjusted to that. But what that's done is softened up the middle for Plymouth.
Bobcats at the 40 now, the Sabres. Sun trying to peek out from the clouds. Again, Robbie Thorne. Thorne spinning. Still on his feet. Gets out to about the 34. We'll see where they mark him. I'm going to say he's at the 35 there, but again, 4, 5, 6 yards a carry here, and Plymouth is moving the ball nicely.
Well, good job of the offensive line. They're not allowing any penetration, and we've seen Bright, who will shoot in wherever he can. They've got him at outside corner now. He comes up on the line of scrimmage. And they're overloading Plymouth's strong side.
Thorne again. Tack in the middle across the 30. Still on his feet. Still going across the 25. Robbie Thorne gets another Bobcat first down. Clock continuing to run. 5:40 and counting once the ball gets spotted here.
Well, you know, there again, you look at the white shirts that were to Plymouth's strong side. They were loaded up, ready to roll on that side. And they took that thing right up the middle again. And Robbie did his thing.
1st and 10. Thorne waits for an opening. Gets out to the 20. Samuel Stevenson in on the tackle, number 43. Second and 5. Valenti will come in now. Probably to give Robbie Thorne a breather on this drive.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. But now this keeps Souhegan off balance of wondering what Plymouth's going to do here on this run with their second, really a 1A running back in. Barg went out wide right. Handoff, Valenti gets past J.J. Bright and gets another first down.
Well, they're
good for another Bobcat.
Kimonakis also went on the tackle number 3.
Sam LeBlanc, the big boy on the line, has been on the sideline, so they're going to give up a little bit with him not in there. And I would imagine that a lot of these linemen are tired on both sides because they've been battling 24/7.
It's been one heck of a football game in the trenches.
And we're in the speed sweep again.
4:05 and ticking away here. Bobcats in the red zone. Handoff, Valenti. Flag comes in.
I think you're going to see face mask
I think you were right. I was just about to say he got hit up right about the face mask.
You know, when you see the head bob back like that, it's an indication that something was yanked on.
Clock stopped just under 4 minutes ago. Yeah, it looked like Stevenson got his arm up there on his head.
Personal foul, face mask. There you go.
Face mask, Sabres.
So with that, it's going to be an automatic first down. And it'll be first and goal for Plymouth here. 3:57 to go, and they can tie or take the lead if they score.
Back in comes Mr. LeBlanc. He definitely puts a hole in that defensive line when he's not there. He's a big, strong kid.
So first and goal from the 4. Or they're saying, yeah. I don't know why the sticks are still up. It's not first and 1.
Something to lean on, probably. I don't know. Those guys are old over there. You know, Junior Joyce is probably like just hanging on.
Nevertheless, first down. Valenti trying to cut back up to his left at the goal line. No signal yet. And he'll be just shy. It'll be second and goal.
Valenti on the carry.
Logan Libby, nice job on that. He kind of led the way and did a good job bringing that ball.
Wow. No, that actually was first and 1. It's first and goal now from the 1.
Eesh.
All right, so they were right. I was wrong.
We'll take it.
Not surprised. It's usually how it is with me.
I've always liked quarterback sneak on first sound, but that's just me. It's a bit of a gap.
2:50, first and goal. Valenti is kept out. Great job by Souhegan defense. And a timeout taken by the Sabres. And I like that call by them. 2:39. You don't let Plymouth bleed the clock down. You don't let them score, get the extra point, and now you don't really see field goals in New Hampshire football, especially outside of Division I. So now you're kind of having to go down the field with little time on the clock. Gut check time, Coach.
Yeah, well, you know, this is the time when you find out what your kids are made of. You know, this is a close game. I think both teams are ready to roll, but there are times when you get a little despondent after lack of success, and you can fold up a little bit, but I don't see that happening today with these two teams.
See Zach Carter coming back into the huddle. He'll come back onto the field. The fact that Plymouth has believed, everyone, you know, going through all the reports that you see going to the week, everyone had Souhegan winning this one. Plymouth is like, oh no, don't underestimate us.
Plymouth likes being the underdog.
Oh, yes. Despite how many state titles. Robbie Thorne back in. Double motion to the left. Quarterback keeper, he'll be pushed in for a Bobcat touchdown.
You got big Robbie Thorne pushing you from behind, and there's just no way you're coming backwards.
Yeah.
So Plymouth's tied it up now, 20-20 with 2:35 left in the game, and they'll go for the extra point. The key here is to make sure.
Yeah, you got to block J.J. Bright.
J.J. Bright, he's been so close the last two times that you just got to make sure to get that good snap, good hold, and to pop it through. Mansur is pretty much automatic, but
it's never a guarantee. Someone jumped.
they got up.
But the kick is up, and it is good, and Plymouth has the lead, 21-20 with 2:35 to go.
Well, it doesn't get any more exciting than this, I'll tell you right now, of course. So you're looking at a very, very diverse and productive offense getting the ball with 2 minutes left in the game, 2.5 minutes left in the game. But again, Plymouth has been known to rise to the occasion, and right now they're up 21-20. So if we get a turnover, lights out. But that's a big if.
But Souhegan has always been deadly getting down the field in their throws. Yes, they threw this interception late in the first half, but Plymouth, you kind of have to feel they're going to drop in to protect and prevent defense here, knowing they're going to have to drive down the field, and this could hurt them. You've got to be careful.
Well, the problem with going to deep secondary so they don't get by you, they'll just nickel and dime you with 15-yard passes out of bounds. And
short kick sent far side. It's going to roll inside the 20. Stevenson going to drop his shoulders and dive out to the 40. And here we go.
Then on the return, brought down by Manso.
Sabres have 2 timeouts. Plymouth with all 3 of theirs here. 1st and 10 at the Sabres 40. If you're not at home on your feet for whoever you're rooting for, I don't know what to tell you. Pelham defeats St. Thomas 14-0 from what we can tell. So winner of this will take on Pelham next Saturday in the championship in Nashua. Jane in the shotgun, high snap, handoff, Bright hit in the backfield.
Big Robbie
Thorne.
And is it Nosserman?
No, it's Zach Carter, 63.
Attaboy, Zach.
So 2nd down and 15.
We're gonna see a little winging and dinging here. I got a feeling.
So, whoa, almost offside lineup and timeout.
Yeah. Jesus. You know, another that could have been a big mistake with not having the right guys get off and on and off the field. We had one too many players, and you just can't let that get in your way.
We saw Sanborn sprinting down the sideline, furious at the sideline official to get the timeout. But even that, Plymouth not set up defensively. Souhegan having one guy lined up 5 yards downfield as a wide receiver. These are the situations we talked about. It's what I mentioned earlier. Both teams really haven't been in a game like this all year, so you're starting to see those mental mistakes. But boy, heck of a game here today.
Yeah,
hats off to both teams. Hats off to both defenses. I mean, this has been insane.
People are getting their money's worth today. Plymouth certainly can't get beat deep.
2nd and 12, throw near side and falls short.
One receiver, there were a couple of stop patterns there. Number 5 slipped and fell, and number 9 was outside him. I'm not really sure who is the intended receiver.
I would think it would be Cassidy. He's been the kind of the go-to target for Rami Jane.
That puts him in the 3rd and about 12 right now.
Yep.
So. And they're capable of big plays. So Plymouth's got to play smart, read your keys, stick with who you got to stick with. Don't let them get behind you.
Plymouth going into the prevent.
Yeah. And just make sure that when you have to wrap up, you don't have to take them down. You got to wrap up the bulk here now.
But the sticks is at midfield. That's what you got to be aware of.
This is the funnel.
Throw out here to Bright. Bright has some running room. Gets outside of Galvin, across midfield, still on his feet, and a Sabres 1st down at the 41 of Plymouth.
They run that play a lot, and as you can see, it's pretty successful.
Minute 51. Gonna mark him. Yeah, at the 41. In the shotgun. Jane throws out near side, and it's dropped. Incomplete.
Well, that's good because they have the capability to do that all the way down to the field. And that's a high percentage pass. You're not going to get that picked off, especially if you're facing a defensive secondary that's backed off already and prevent.
Number 9 was a target. Again, we don't have his number on our roster, or his name on our roster, I should say. Cassidy in motion. Option, quarterback keeper on the option, and Rami Chain has nowhere to go. Jackson Rainier and Nathan Lyons get the sack and a loss of about 4 or 5.
So great defensive play by those two. Quarterback was going to keep that and thought he could get around the corner, but there's just too much speed with Rainier on that corner. So we're looking at a minute 38 left, and it is down to
third and 14. At their own at the Bobcat 45, need to get to the 31, and a timeout taken by Souhegan. They'll have 1 remaining. Plymouth with 2. Winner will take on Pelham, the number 1 seed in the championship game next Saturday afternoon at Stello Stadium in Nashua for a 1 p.m. kickoff.
And all year long, there was such a group of teams in that first 1 through 4 or 5 spots that they would win games that you didn't think they were going to win. And now we got 4 receivers.
You get that bunch
on the left,
on the bottom of your screen.
This is where the quarterback will do the quarterback draw.
Jane going to step up, looking for a target. It falls incomplete. It's batted down at the line, and it's 4th down, and here's the game. Minute 31 to go.
Yeah, that was when I've seen that formation on their films in the past, usually the quarterback is going to drop back and do a quarterback draw, which he didn't do. And I'm not sure who his designated receiver was. Usually you've got a go-to guy, and then you have a secondary and a tertiary. But
what's this discussion about?
I do not know.
Well, at least they're discussing making sure everything's okay and everything's set up right. But it is at the 45, 4th and 14. Sabres need to get to at least the Bobcat 31 to keep their season alive. Watch out, Brody Smith, right side, number 16 at the top of your screen. Jane, off his back foot, airs one out, and it's overthrown. And the Bobcats will take over. And they can kneel it out for victory in Plymouth. They wouldn't say it's an upset. The rest of the state might, but Plymouth, wow, that's the first time I've done that, my bad. Will return to the championship game unless something crazy happens.
Well, I'll tell you, looking at all the hype, looking at all the statistics really, and the path that Souhegan had taken, it looked like the only people that could stop them would have been Pelham. But Plymouth, I think Plymouth a lot of times gets taken lightly sometimes, but these kids never quit, and the coaching staff is always well prepared, and these kids have just stepped it up. They made fewer mistakes. The first time they played Souhegan, they were making mistakes right and left, not missing blocks, blocking the wrong guy, and this is just a great game. Great job by the Bobcats, well deserved.
So Plymouth going to go to victory formation here. Take absolutely nothing away from the Sabres. They have been spectacular here today. And they'll take their final timeout with a minute 21 and just a couple of kneel downs here.
I just remember talking to Coach Sanborn before the season started, and he had many, many questions that were not answered until today. And part of it was the youth of the team, the lack of experience, starting in a football game. Defensive secondary was not catching on real well initially, but you can see that they've been coached up and the kids have figured this stuff out, and they're tough as nails and they don't quit. And I think the mentality with Plymouth has always been that we expect to win. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We expect to win, and when you've got that kind of mindset, that goes a long way.
So a couple of plays here for a kneel down. And Plymouth will return to the championship game since their loss to Souhegan at Souhegan during the COVID year.
Coach is telling his guys to back off. He doesn't want to see any.
Diamond's just going to bleed the clock.
You got to take a knee, bro.
You didn't know what he was doing. There was no pressure coming. I mean, interesting. But now get it under 40 seconds, take the knee. And
Luke is a junior.
Yeah.
And it's his first year at the helm. He played quite a bit last year. But this is really the first year. So these are little things that you don't really think much about unless you're in the situation.
So here it is. They're under 40 seconds. So Plymouth, one more kneel down. Again, all the credit into the world. But Plymouth will advance to the championship game to take on the Pelham Pythons in a rematch of last year's quarterfinal game between the two schools.
Oh, I can hear Channel 9 now.
Oh,
upset of the century.
Not to anyone here for Plymouth.
Nope. The Bobcats, they earned it all the way. They earned it all the way. Great job, the coaching staff, the players, anybody associated with the program just has done a great job, and they've stuck with it. Souhegan, good football team.
Heck of a football team.
Can't take anything away from them. And, it feels even better when you win a game like this against a team that's good.
And again, it's redemption because Souhegan pummeled Plymouth earlier this season down in Amherst. That 49-6 win, Plymouth getting that redemption and getting back to the title game. But you're going against two players that are arguably Gatorade Players of the Years, and Rami Jane and J.J. Bright. You've got Cassidy, who's been really good in the wide receiver position, but Plymouth just brought it to another level here this afternoon.
And it's always tough to beat a team twice in 1 year. Coach Sanborn said it at the first game. He says it wasn't as legitimate a win as possible, meaning that the Plymouth kids made a lot of mistakes. They turnovers, they had offsides, they had they were blocking the wrong people sometimes, if they blocked at all. I mean, so it was a young team, and they've really come a long way. But Coach Sanborn said that was a crummy game we played, and we're a lot better than that, and we'll see them next time, and they did.
What else can we say? But Plymouth will advance. Souhegan's season will unfortunately come to an end. And the top two teams in Division II, winners of each conference, will meet in the championship game next Saturday afternoon. Any final thoughts, Coach, before we sign off?
Well, I haven't been to Nashua in a while, so I'm looking for that. No, I think that there's a couple areas I think Plymouth could really come out and look a little different with some of the plays they have that they haven't used. I think they may need to do that, but we'll see. I mean, again, Coach Sanborn's 9-1, not me. So he's been doing a great job this year. And Pelham is going to be legit. They're man for man. They're a pretty good football team, and they haven't lost a game in going on 3 years.
It feels like, I think it is 3 years.
That's like the Chuck Lenahan days. I can remember going 5 years with no losses, then 7 years with no losses. So, but that was then, and this is now. And Bobcats are happy campers as they deserve to be.
Coach Chris Sanborn getting the team fired up. We know Dave Haley with NH Sports Page going to do his signature interview and post-game celebration. You'll see that on social media a little bit later tonight. But that's going to do it for us here this evening. Hats off to Souhegan, a fantastic team, a fantastic season that just fell short. Plymouth's beautiful drive late in the fourth sealed it, and some great defensive plays to stop Souhegan on fourth down, as Plymouth will advance to the championship game. Again, next Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. from Stello Stadium in Nashua. There'll be the away team against the Pelham Pythons, who took their win 14-0 over St. Thomas same time today for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Again, that championship game is only going to be live on the NFHS network due to the rights that the NFHS network holds with the NHIAA. We will be there to cover the game, but we cannot show it live. We'll have a 48-hour tape delay, and you will see that all on our social media channels and throughout the week on channel 1302. For our entire staff, Jonathan Picard on camera, Mike Courier calling the game with me here today. I'm Dan Salzer. Final score for the final time. Plymouth back in the championship game with a final score of 21-20. We'll see you next Saturday here on Pemmy Baker TV. Have a great weekend. Thank you, veterans, and enjoy the rest of your day.